I just want to travel. Well, that's Gucci. So I'm not about to lie, y'all. I'm not happy. I'm not happy whatsoever. I'm essentially stuck in the Netherlands. And like by stuck, I mean I can't fly out right now. Partially because the little lockdown that's happening. Partly because I still haven't gotten a visa. And if I don't have a visa, I can't leave and come back. So I'm stuck. I don't think I've ever been in this situation where I couldn't travel as I please, go to cheap destinations, live up the travel life. Cause before, your girl was going everywhere. She was going to Lebanon. She's going to Italy. She's going to the Caribbean. I can't do none of that no more. So I'm going to pull myself out of this funk, and tell y'all how to get the high of traveling without actually traveling. These are tips that I've taken myself, so I hope they help others. Of course, you know, this is a lighthearted, fun video. The tips are gonna be lighthearted and fun because you have to kind of be in that mindset if you physically cannot leave your country, whether that's for financial reasons, whether that's because of Miss Rona reasons. Let's get into it. Let's get into these tips. So the first tip I would say when you're stuck and can't leave where you're currently at would be to visit nearby cities, visit nearby towns, and exploring the state, the country, the area that you are currently in. So for example, recently my mans and we went to The Hague here in the Netherlands for a quick day trip. It was just so he could go to the Portuguese embassy and pick up his passport, but we turned it into like a day trip, and it definitely did feel like I was traveling. We saw beautiful canals, and we stopped and had food. We went shopping a little bit. And this is like one of the best ways I found to find myself in a traveling position without being able to physically internationally travel, is to domestic travel or local travel, finding the sites near you. For example, in Maryland, if I ever felt stuck, like that's where I'm from, if I ever felt stuck in Maryland, if you went north, there's mountains, there's hike trails. Or say you wanted to go, like it's warm outside, there's the beach that you can go to. So even within your realm, there's so much more to go to. Currently, being in partial lockdown in the Netherlands is making it a little more difficult, but I'm gonna get into ways you guys can do that too. Because honestly, this locks upside down up is just, it's messing with me too. So I want to be able to help with those types of situations too, where you can also travel. That leads me to my next tip. Discovering new activities in your current city or town, wherever you are living. So currently being in Amsterdam, I should be more grateful first off, because I'm in a city that I wasn't raised in. I should be able to see the sights and stuff like that. But sometimes I get in my head and I'm like, oh, I can't go nowhere, even though like I can just go outside. The outside is already traveling.
Stop it. Get some help.
Recently I've actually had friends from London that came down to visit me, and we went on a smoke boat tour, and we discovered the city in a touristic viewpoint, because I haven't been a tourist in Amsterdam in such a long time. I think I've kind of grown accustomed to just being a local and just staying inside. So there was a great time having them here because I was able to discover a lot of new things. I even discovered like the weed museum. I didn't even know they had that. So shame on me, but it was so much fun. It's like this tall, like a lot of Amsterdam buildings, just a lot of stairs. So you just go up a bunch of stairs, and each level there's different points about marijuana and how it was viewed throughout history, and how to grow, and how Amsterdam got into being what do you call it, decriminalized state in terms of marijuana. So it was so much fun. Like, you just learn a lot about where you currently are from that museum itself. And then we were also able to go to a few other vintage shops, which I love doing vintage shopping. So I had to rediscover my own hobbies and my own interests in traveling within my own area, discovering Amsterdam, or rediscovering, in my case, Amsterdam again. It doesn't matter where you are, what city, what state you're in, there is going to be something that makes that city or state or country different from another place in the world, you know? So rediscovering your area is one of the best ways to go about traveling when you actually cannot physically internationally travel. Let's get on to the next one. This was gonna sound kind of jokey, but check out your favorite travel Instagram influencer or YouTuber, okay? A lot of people wouldn't even consider this as like a way of traveling, but it genuinely is, especially if you find a good one. Personally, I love Natural Nisi. Her videos stay high quality. Lydia Dinga's been all over the place right now too. Her videos are quality right now. Josh and Isi, they do great travel videos when they do travel. So these are just a few of my favorite influencers, but when I'm in a serious travel funk, I find travel videos so comforting. I find watching other people explore and travel is some of the best things, and it can almost re-inspire you. It can almost ignite a flame of wanting to travel again, of wanting to go visit new places that you've never been to. Like, there is one place someone went to, Cancun. I have never thought of Cancun as a destination before, and now I'm thinking, ooh, how can I plan a trip to Cancun? How can I get to this next level of traveling? So I definitely find following influencers that are traveling, and you cannot see it from a perspective of jealousy as well. When you watch these types of influencers, you can't say, oh, they get to do da. You have to think of the point of, I can do that someday too. Because sometimes it can be discouraging as well, seeing other people travel and you can't actually travel. But when you're seeing it from a perspective of, ooh, I can do this someday as well, it's a whole new reignition inside of you. It's a whole new light of love where you're like, ooh, I want to do that too. I want to go traveling there. I want to go traveling there. I want to do this and that and this and that. So I definitely suggest, if you're that type of person who can't travel right now like me, finding inspiration online. The internet is here for a reason, for us to educate, for us to learn, for us to inspire each other. As I am trying to inspire others right now, hopefully trying. I don't know if it's working, but I'm here, aren't I? Sometimes. The fourth tip I have for you guys is find new places to eat. So when I say this, why do my lips look dry? They're not dry, I promise. I put lip balm on. Anyways, finding new places to eat. So new cuisines you've never tried, new cafes, new, for us, coffee shops we've been discovering as well. Finding new hobbies or new events. So all of this kind of goes in the realm of exploring your own hometown again. However, if you do something that you've never done before, it feels as though you're experiencing something new, something unexplored. So recently I've been getting into bagels, so cafe and coffee. So cafes have been really fun to explore and see if people have good coffee and bagels, because I love bagels. Other cuisines I've never tried. There's this one restaurant I want to go to still, we haven't been able to go to yet. It's an Ethiopian restaurant, and I've never had Ethiopian food before. So that's something I plan on doing. And then there's also, excuse me, another thing coming up. What is it? It's called a vintage kilo sale. I've been to kilo sales before in France and London. I've never been to a vintage kilo sale here in Amsterdam, so I'm excited. That's gonna come up the end of this week. So wish me luck, I find some good finds. My final tip for traveling when you can't actually travel is manifesting and planning your next trip. So what are you doing if you're not doing anything, right? You can dream, you can imagine.
Squidward, we don't need television. Not as long as we have our imagination.
You can literally put your mind in a different place, put your body in a different place if your mind is up for it. If you can imagine a place up, if you can take a picture and put yourself into that picture, you yourself are actually traveling mentally, planning something, making something exist in your mind can then create itself in a physical form if you really put your mind to it. Your girl needs to go somewhere. She can't just be sitting up no more. You know, my plans need to turn into action. So how am I going to turn my plans into action? I'm going to save. I'm going to try to prepare myself mentally, physically, to actually go on a journey, to actually go do something in the future. I won't always be in this position that I'm in now, and I need to remind myself that as well, that I won't always be in this position of only in the Netherlands and stuck in the Netherlands. I will be able to travel. I will be able to go somewhere eventually. I don't want to discourage myself because of Miss Rona. I don't want to discourage myself because of limitations that are usually mental. Because if I had said, oh, because of the virus, I couldn't travel, I wouldn't even be where I am right now. So manifestation can go a long way. I've already made a video about manifesting traveling a while ago. So I'm just in the patience period of before I travel long distance and that. So we'll see where things go, and I will definitely bring you guys along for it. So that's all from me, guys. Subscribe, like the video if you liked it. It was a quick one today. Subscribe if y'all want to see me sporadically post. Check out my Instagram. I post there way more often, and you get to see kind of my life in Amsterdam, especially if you follow me on Instagram. That's where I kind of do more of a daily post type thing on my stories, and I show like coffee shops I'm going to and the cafes and stuff. So that's like a better way to see what I'm doing on the regs. But yeah, till next time, bye.